I'm a healthy guy chef who's ignored my digestive issues to the point of losing my hair and not being able to eat anything without discomfort. My body's forcing me to do something about it, so this is the first video of sharing what's up and what I'll be doing. I've been dealing with these digestive issues for the last 5 years, but they have gotten way worse in the last 18 months, up until the point that I can't ignore them anymore. Before, I was just kind of bloated and gassy. I had a lack of hunger, sometimes indigestion, and, I would have normal stool. Sometimes it would be loose, but it wasn't super concerning. In the last 18 months, I've had major issues, even controlling my body temp, extreme nausea in the morning, no appetite waking up in the morning, yet forcing myself to eat because I know I need to, and I'm all about gym and the gains and all that kind of stuff. So that's been really frustrating. Every time I eat, I get gassy, it hurts my stomach, and I haven't had a solid poop in who knows how long. I tried resolving this issue last year, but I'm a regular weed consumer, and that made it really difficult for me to cut out some of the foods that I was supposed to cut out and conform to the rigorous diet and supplement protocol that I was put on. So obviously, there was one major thing that needs to change. It's been 7 full days of no cannabis for me, which is a really big deal being a everyday user for the last 10 plus years. And I've had a lot of struggles at the beginning, but some really big wins in the last couple of days too. The first 3 days of me trying to get to sleep without being high were the hardest ever. I laid in bed for like 2.5 hours and finally got to sleep, but the sleep was spotty, messy, and not that great at all. These last 3 days though have been really huge. I fell asleep really quickly, and each day has gotten easier and easier. And one thing that I noticed when I was smoking regularly is that I didn't dream very much. And those dreams come in the REM, or rapid eye movement, part of our sleep, which is really restorative and a really important part for us to be healthy and happy. And that could have been a big part of the stress that was building up. I've been running my own private chef business for the last year, and I'm sure all the stress of that has been building up too, so that's something to take into account. If I'm not getting my restorative REM sleep, I'm probably not recovering from the stress of everyday life and my job. Smoking every night meant that I would typically have the munchies and eat all the way up until the point where I went to bed, and that is not great on my digestion. I knew every time I'd overeat at night, I'd wake up in the morning and the symptoms I was experiencing would be way worse. But it was this perpetual cycle that I would never be able to stop because I just kept on doing the same habits that were putting me into that situation. So for the last 7 days, I haven't eaten anything 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, and I would say that's been the single best thing that has helped clear up some of my symptoms. I just got the PDF document of the elimination diet that I'm going to start here in the next coming days, and I'm going to share the list of foods and food groups that I'm going to be able to eat and the food groups that I'm going to have to stay away from, some of which are going to be really difficult because they're a every day, multiple times a day, part of my life kind of deal. We'll start with the positives. We'll start with the foods I can eat because that sounds a whole lot better and more manageable. Dairy alternatives like coconut milk, fish, fruits, game meats like deer and, the wild game meats. Gluten-free whole grains like amaranth, buckwheat, millet, quinoa, rice, teff. Healthy oils like avocado oil and olive oil. Legumes except for soy and peanuts, so that's a really big group of foods. Nuts except for peanuts. Poultry, so chicken, turkey, things like that. And seeds like your flax seeds and all those kinds of healthy fiber-rich foods. And vegetables. I get to eat all my vegetables, so that's really cool. What this looks like to me is just a healthy AF diet, something that I've wanted to try conforming to for a while, but now I'm just going to be forced to do so. The foods that I'm going to have to avoid are alcohol, beef, that's going to be a hard one. I eat a ton of beef. Chocolate, not too big of a deal. Coffee, dude, I love my coffee. It's one of those things that I've told myself I need to cut back on for a while because I've really never taken a break off of it, but I never have, and I'm going to be forced to. So that'll be a cool thing to see how I feel getting away from. Soft drinks, don't have them. Energy drinks, tea. Corn is going to be tough because I love corn tortillas. Dairy products will be tough. Who doesn't love sour cream and ice cream and stuff like that? Eggs. I eat eggs every day. That's going to be a tough one. And gluten-containing grains like barley, rice, spelt, and wheat. So basically, I'm going to be on the GF diet. Peanuts, not a big deal. Pork, that's tough. I love my carnitas. Processed meats, no biggie. Shellfish, soy products, and sugar. The sugar's fine. I don't eat a ton of that, but I do have a dinner coming up where sugar's a part of one of the recipes, so that'll be a thing. You know, I think the hardest thing about this whole diet is that I'm a chef and I need to taste people's food and make sure things are tasting right. I thought this was going to be more restrictive than what it is. It sounds like staying away from dairy and gluten are the two main ones, and sugar, of course. And then the other things, you know, there's just way more on this list that I'm going to be able to eat that I wasn't expecting. So I'm somewhat excited, somewhat scared. I'd say the biggest things for me are going to be staying away from coffee and eggs and beef. But luckily, with my cooking skills, dude, I'll be able to whip up some healthy elimination diet-esque meals and hopefully be able to share some of them with you guys, because I've had an overwhelming amount of people who have reached out about their gut issues too, and I think this will be a good learning experience for all of us, and maybe I can use you guys to help hold me accountable. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the support. And I'll be tuning in more often, doing these kind of low editing style videos. Until next time, happy cooking.